What is the story, people? Welcome back to the YouTube. 2 in a calendar month. Who the fuck am I? I'm on an absolute roll. The kettle is about to click behind me, actually. Let's just wait for that to happen. What is the story, people? Welcome back to the YouTube. 2 in a calendar month. Who the fuck am I? Honestly. But we're in for a good one today. So this is going to be a full leg day video. Return of the Cybex hack. FLF recently acquired one. Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. It was my first session of the week when they got it in, and it's been calling me now all week. I'm very, very excited for it. But the current leg day setup, we begin with calves. Train the calves twice a week because if you want something to grow, train them. Then we're into adductor, lying ham, leg extension, hack. May or may not take a set on leg press. It has been pushing me, I would say, a little bit too far the last couple of weeks, just from an inflammation standpoint, you know, although at the same time I'm also considering less loading, higher rep range this week, you know, no 50-50s, no grinders, and just calling it when it's done, no plus ones rather, no grinders, and calling it when I'm done, just because I've seen a massive blowback in terms of inflammation in the last couple of weeks post leg day on a Sunday, following through even into Monday, Tuesday sometimes. Just like not being able to contain that, you know, obviously aiming towards that higher end of loading just from a progression point of view. But again, it comes back to this point of not being a complete, you know, meathead all the time, I suppose. So it may possibly, if I do take a set on that today, it will be in probably the higher rep ranges. I would probably pull off a plate and go with that and just aim for like 12 plus. Like I said, calling it when I'm done, no plus ones, no grinders, etc. And then we will finish with seated hams. Again, I think I'm just going to take one set there. I've recently switched to the Atlantis seated ham as opposed to the Prime seated ham. Now in the Prime, we set the cam to bias it in the lengthened position, but because of the standard cam on the Atlantis, it's actually set up the same way, so it's heavier at the top, drops off in the bottom, so it still works out nicely. But there's also more of a dramatic slant back in the seat, so I don't feel like I have to press myself in as hard as I do with the Prime. I just don't feel as stable in the Prime. You know, the Atlantis one, it locks down very, very nicely across the knees, or rather just above the knees. So it's definitely a new favourite of mine from a seated ham point of view for sure. Now, the Prime is nice, but I just feel more stable in the Atlantis. I feel like I get more out of it. That's the plan of action. We're going to hit pre-workout now in a couple of minutes. It's now 11 o'clock. So I'm going to get pre in now. You can see it over my right shoulder. So I had to check what shoulder that was there. We're doing well. We're doing well. But yeah, pre, so 50 grams cream of rice, 50 grams of whey, 10 grams dark chocolate, and 100 grams of blueberries. I still eat the dark chocolate because it's like a little dessert to me, you know. I could put it into the cream of rice, could melt it, but I'd rather eat it. And then pre-workout of choice today is Stimmy Max, a scoop and a half. So 18 grams of Stimmy Max, and then a single scoop of Stimmy Max. Or what? What is wrong with me? A scoop and a half of Stimmy Max and a single scoop of Vascumax. Fuck me, the brain is bollocks. A single scoop of Vascumax. So yeah, 18 grams, I believe works out at about 375 megs of caffeine. So let's get that little bit extra kick on a leg day. Big fan of the Stimmy Max, I have to say. I run just the single scoop on the train, just normal training days. Except for delts arms tomorrow, I don't really need that much of a bump for that. Whereas, like, you know, push sessions, pull, they're quite demanding at the minute, and I have found myself kind of fading a little bit earlier the last couple of sessions. Again, just from I suppose a food standpoint, you know, energy availability, it is starting to die off a little bit. You know, we've been dragging ass now for pretty much a month in terms of food intake, so it is finally starting to kind of catch up with me again. Obviously, like, I feel like I said this the last time, but you know, drugs aside, it is going to eventually take that sort of effect on you. So yeah, anyway, enough rambling. That is the plan of action. I'm going to eat pre, head to Ryan's, head to the gym, bury the hack. Right, we're in phone, do not disturb, legs. Started the last video in this section as well, but anyway, calves twice a week because calves have to go. Like I said, adductor, lying ham, leg extension, Cybex hack.
leg press, seated ham. So we're going to get after it. Let's fucking go. Adductors done on the single leg lying ham now. This is, again, I more so from a variety point of view. We've dual lying ham on a pull day and then just keeping a single there on a leg day, again, just for a bit of variety more than anything else. So, 2 sets here, single leg, and then we're on to leg extension. Left and right there is taking 30-40 seconds between each side. You know, like single joint movement or not, you're taking it to that realm of pretty much absolute failure. You have to give yourself a little bit of a chance in between. Obviously, ideally starting with the weaker side, moving on to the stronger then as well, just so we can match and obviously not fail on the weaker side long before the stronger. But that's just the thought process there. Placing this obviously before leg extension, again, moving the joint without loading the joint, being as warm as possible before doing anything like that. And again, me, dodgy fucking knees, needs to be done. So, balance. So, leg extension next, prioritising loading the short range here. Again, just where we're fresh, but also moving to hack after this, where obviously the loading will be in that lengthened range. So, kind of pre-exhausting, you could say, but not to the extreme point where we're fucking pre-hack. Obviously taking a set there, but not going way beyond later. So like I said, just getting it short while we have the capabilities earlier on in the session to do it, prioritising it in obviously minimal joint loading by overloading the leg extension in the short range so there's no sort of shear on the way up, and then it's just all hits nicely at the top. So 2 sets here, top set back. Cybex hack. First time on it in about a month, I'd say. Mark II. Oh, dodgy knee. Mark II as opposed to Mark I that I had in Southside for so long. So we'll see how it goes. The reverse band is on because I'm cheating. But in all seriousness, my knees just aren't on.
There have been many attempts to do what it is that we're doing right here, right now, today. All of us came together strictly for the love of house music. Come on. For the love of dance. For the love of house.
Tight, right, yes. Smallest spot ever.
leg press, 1 set, seat and ham. Keeping leg press in the higher rep range, so I took 15 there. Arguably had a couple more, we'll probably increase next week rather. Again, thought process just minimizing heavy loading post squat, post Cybex this week. After Cybex, arguably not as systemically fucked as the pendulum. You know, I suppose less stability factors involved in the Cybex hack as opposed to pendulum. You know, you're a lot more kind of in the open. So that is basically going to wrap it up. But probably do an outro when I get home. But for now, that is lightweight for me.
Right, people, we are back post legs, post workout, whatever. Yeah, post workout going in. Don't know what I was trying to say there. So post workout choice today: 50 grams of oats, 100 grams of blueberries, 40 whey. Big smash. Haven't had oats likewise again in about a month. Forgot how much volume you can get out of them. Like, that looks like so much more oats than it is, but if you just overcook them a little bit by like a minute, they fluff up really, really nicely. I don't know, they like inflate or something in the microwave. It's weird. But I do same way I make cream of rice, 4-to-1, so 50 oats, 200 water. I put my whey in on top, and then microwave it for a minute and a half. Very loud car going past, if you can hear that. Microwave for a minute and a half. I'll call that a Jim Morrissey special, because he was the one that told me about that. Whey ends up a bit cakey on the top, but stays gooey in the middle. Very, very nice. I'm talking so in-depthly about my bowl of oats, but you know, it's the little things after all. So, wasn't a complete dickhead today, happy with myself. Took a higher rep set on the leg press as opposed to, how are you still driving past like? Virgin. Anyway, higher rep set on the leg press today because that heavier loading point post like squat, it was just writing me off, and I was so heavily inflamed after it. Even mentally, so like at the end of the session I was bollocks, but today I felt like, yeah, my quads were blown, you know, productive leg session, hams fairly well steamed as well, but not completely and utterly fucked like I'm wrote off for the rest of the night. Don't get me wrong, I'll probably hit the couch for the rest of the evening, box off the last of my steps, which I haven't got about 5k left, which is nice. So yeah, that's going to wrap the video up. So I hope you enjoy it. First one of these where we take you through the leg session. It's my favourite day of the week anyway. I don't know about everyone else, but I don't know, I like watching leg days on YouTube. I love watching a good leg day on YouTube, so hopefully you enjoy watching this one. But that's going to wrap it up. So do all the usual YouTube stuff: like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your nan, you know, and yeah, that'll do. So we'll see you in the next one.